Hello, this is the Daily Forex Report for January 3rd. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This pair broke previous support, basically broke the previous session's low, did pull higher and move higher, closed higher. We are looking for this pair to start moving sideways, definitely still has a bias to the downside. Look for it to potentially go as high as 82.45, possibly as low as 80.49. Look for some resistance around 81.95 and look for some support around 80.89. Now the Euro-USD pair gapped at the open, did fill that gap prior to today's close, had a fairly large range overall, starting to move sideways, especially from a long-term standpoint. Short term, maybe a small upward bias. Look for it to potentially go as high as 135.04, possibly as low as 131.75. Look for some resistance around 134.25 and look for some support around 132.50. Now the pound US dollar pair, this pair gapped down, has not filled the gap, did close lower overall, created an inside bar as well. We are looking for this pair to potentially go as high as 156.55, possibly as low as 153.31. Look for some resistance around 155.75 and look for some support to kick in around 154.25. Now the US Swiss, this pair also created an inside bar. It definitely is still moving to the downside. Look for it on a reversal to potentially go as high as 0.9434, possibly as low as 0.9256. Look for some resistance around 0.9339 and look for some support around 0.9295. Now as far as news announcements, we really don't have any significant news announcements to be released until Friday of this later this week. But as far as what I'm looking at, we do have an inside bar that's created in the US Swiss. We have a potential for it to for this pair to reverse and move higher. If it does, grab between these two areas, grabbing roughly about 40 pips or so, 38 pips between these two areas of support, previous support, which would now be resistance, and resistance here as well. So look for a breakout to the upside. To the downside, which I know we have a pretty strong skew to the downside on this pair, look for it to go down to about the 192.50 mark. So 192.50. There we go. And grab roughly about 42 pips out of that to the downside. Look for it to move lower. Look for a sell. So basically what we're looking for here is a potential buy and a potential exit, or a potential sell with a potential exit down here. Now the pound US dollar pair also created an inside bar during this last session. The high is pretty high, especially from current market. You're talking almost 200 pips. Even if we hit it, I don't think there'd be a lot of strength to push through it. However, to the downside, we're a little bit closer to it, about 60 pips. I could definitely see us moving down. If that is the case, we should look for it to come on down to the 1.5383 mark and hit some support there, grabbing about 36 pips or so. Well, that about wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.